right, we're gonna be doing a quick little class today, maybe about 25 minutes. We will be using our ball today, so make sure you have that with you. Before we get started, get our heart rate moving, we are going to get our spine moving, get it nice and warm, moving it in all directions. So let's come kneeling into a quadruped position on our carriages. We're going to start with our cat and cow. So we're going to arch through our back, tilt our chin up, get a nice extension going in our back. Exhale, tuck the tailbone under, start rounding through your spine, moving nice and slow, moving bone by bone. As you come into extension and flexion, start warming up that spine. All right, let's get into a little bit of rotation. So let's extend our right arm out wide to the side. Take a big inhale. On your exhale, we're going to tuck or thread our arm through our other, drop our right shoulder down. Get some nice rotation in that spine. Take an inhale to lengthen. Exhale, go a little deeper in that rotation. Maybe push onto that shoulder block to send your left shoulder back. And on your next exhale, let's come out of that rotation. Place your right hand back onto your shoulder block. Okay, left arm is going to go out wide now. Take an inhale. Exhale, let's thread it through. Drop our left shoulder down. Head can come down. Take some nice deep breaths here. Feel that rotation. Feel a nice stretch in your shoulders and your back. Maybe give a little press onto that right shoulder block to get a little deeper in that rotation. Take another big inhale in. Exhale, let's come out of that thread. Oh, that should feel really good for your spine. It should feel nice and warm before we move into our series. So we're gonna grab onto our ball. We're going to place that ball underneath our right foot. Oh, before we get too unbalanced here, let's make sure that our springs are on one red spring. So I was a little light. If you want to go a little lighter, you can do a blue spring. I'm going to be on a red spring today. So your right foot is going to come onto that ball. Hold on to your foot bar as you send your left foot back towards your shoulder block. And then if you feel stable, we're going to take our hands off of that shoulder block. So we've got a little bit of a stability challenge here. Okay, we're going to lunge. So we're going to send that left leg back. Inhale. Exhale, slowly squeeze as you start standing, straightening that floor leg, and then send the carriage all the way in. So let's send that left leg back. Inhale. Exhale, start controlling that carriage as you pull that carriage back in, really standing into that standing glute. Okay, a lot of our weight is in this floor leg. We're just keeping that carriage nice in control as we send it back into our lunge and then pulling it back in, resisting those springs, straightening that standing leg. Let's do two more. Make sure that knee stays in line with that heel. It can be a little tricky with this stability. Let's send it back one more time. I want you to hold it right there. If you need to place your hands onto that foot bar, you're welcome to. We're going to hold in this lunge. Start pulsing in this lunge right here. So we're dropping our hips an inch, raising them an inch. Stay right here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. We're going to be pulsing this standing heel into the ball. So stay right here in your lunge for 5, 4, 3, 2, pause your pulse. We're going to pull that carriage back in, start straightening that standing leg and pull that carriage in. Okay, you can come off of your carriage. You should feel that in your glute, in your quad, and especially in your calf. Okay, We're going to move into some abdominals now. So we're gonna change our spring to one blue spring now. If you're already there, just stick with that blue spring. I'm gonna lower my foot bar. Headrest can come up or down, whatever feels most comfortable for you. Usually we would have that ball in the headrest, but we're gonna be using it at our ankles today. So we're gonna come side lying. I'm gonna be facing the way that I was just standing. So I'm facing the side of the carriage that I was just standing on. We've got our shoulders stacked, our hips stacked, ball placed in between our ankles. I'm gonna reach back, grab onto the strap that's in front of me, extend my arm up to the ceiling so my hand is stacked over my shoulders. I've got a nice lift to my heels so my oblique is nice and activated. We're going to exhale, lower our arm down to our side as we slowly lift our heels up. Then we raise our arm back up to the ceiling and lower our heels an inch. So exhale, pull down, lift. Inhale, float the arm, release the feet. Let's stay here for a few more. Exhale, pull and lift. Inhale. Release back to that starting position. Let's do 3 more. 2, 1. Hold the arm down, keep the legs lifted. We're gonna sweep the arm forward and then sweep it back in line with our body. We're sweeping forward and back. Palm is facing towards the back side of the room. 3, 2, make sure you've got a lift to those heels. Last one, hold that lift. Let's move into our triceps. So we bend at the elbows, then press it back. So the only thing moving is our forearm now. We're bending at the elbow, pressing back to in line with our body. We've still got that lift to the ball. 4, 3, 2, last one, press it back. And then we're gonna be pulsing our heels up towards the ceiling. So up an inch and down an inch. Really feel it in that oblique. We're still breathing for 5, 4, 3, 2, float your arm up to the ceiling. Rest your feet down, give that oblique a little break. Okay, let's hang up that strap. We're gonna grab back onto our ball. We're still gonna be using our ball, but we also need our box. So we're gonna grab onto our box here, place it long ways onto our carriage. I'm gonna drop my headrest down so I can place my feet there. All right, let's place the ball in between our knees for now while we grab on to our straps. Okay, so we're still on that one blue spring. We're seated nice and tall from our tailbone to the crown of our head. We're going to go down into our C curve. So arms are extended out in front of us, palms are facing the ceiling. We're gonna tuck our tailbone under, start rounding through our spine, coming into our C curve. And then we're gonna roll ourselves back up, maintain that C as you come back to seated, and then stack your spine back up. So tuck the tailbone under. Start rounding through your spine, feeling that in your core, in your transverse abdominis, those deep core muscles, and then stack it back up. Okay, let's do that one more time. This time I want you to hold in that C curve. So your tailbone is tucked under, you've got a nice curve in your spine, you're gazing out in front of you towards the front of your carriage. We are going to start into our bicep curl. So we're gonna bend at the elbows, pull those handles towards our ears, and then release them back out in front of us. So that ball is in between my knees. I've got a nice squeeze into that ball, activating my adductors. Let's stay right here. So we've got our biceps activating our core, our inner thighs. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold that bicep curl. We're gonna reach our arms up towards the ceiling, keeping our forearms parallel with our body. So we reach our arms up and then slowly with control resist those springs as you pull your arms down. So inhale to pull down, exhale, press it up and release it down. So we've got our shoulders activated now. You should start to feel those start to burn. We're maintaining that C curve. We're using our breath to stabilize our spine, to keep our core activated and keep any tension out of our low backs. 3, 2, last one, reach it up, pull it down. Let's start seating ourselves up, maintaining that C curve, and then start straightening through our spine. Okay, we're going to now get into a little rotation, get more into our back muscles. So I'm gonna grab back onto my left strap only. Okay, we are going to have our arm extended. We're gonna rotate to the left side. So we inhale to prepare, our spine is stacked nice and tall. Exhale, elbow goes wide for a low row. Exhale into those obliques. Inhale, float it back forward. Exhale, rotate back. Gaze follows your spine. And release. Your pelvis is nice and stable, so you're not sending your hip back when you rotate. Let's do 3, 2, last one, send it back and release it forward. All right, let's grab onto our other strap now. Let's get into that same rotation to the other side. So we're grabbing onto the grip right in front or above our strap. Elbow goes wide, low row. Inhale, release it forward. Let's do 3, 2, last one, pull it back and release. All right, let's get to the other side for our obliques. We're going to remove this box now. Place it off to the side. We're still on that one blue spring. I'm now going to be laying to the other side. So we're side lying, placing the ball in between your ankles. Again, your shoulders are stacked, your hips are stacked. We're going to reach back, grab onto the strap that's in front. We've got a nice lift to our heels. Exhale, we're going to lower our arm down to our side, lift our heels a few inches. Inhale, float that arm back up and release your legs. Exhale, lift and lower. Inhale, float it back to starting, hands stacked over your shoulder. Exhale to pull. Inhale to release. Keep those hips stacked, your shoulders stacked. I want you to make sure you're targeting that oblique. So we're not rolling back our hip. We're not rolling it forward. We're keeping it nice and stacked. 2. Last one, lower your arm down, lift your legs, keep those heels lifted. We're sweeping our right hand forward now out in front of us and then sweeping it back to in line with our body. Inhale to go forward, exhale to press back. Okay, stay right here. Let's do 3 more. 2. Lift those heels. Last one, keep your arm in line with your body. We're bending at the elbows now for your tricep press. 4, 3, 2, last one. Press it back to in line with your body. We're pulsing our heels up towards the ceiling, up an inch, down an inch. Keep the hips stacked. 5, 4, 3, 2, float your arm back up towards the ceiling. Release your ankles. Okay, I really felt that in my oblique. I hope you did too. Let's come back to our carriages. We're gonna get to that other leg. So let's bring the foot bar back up to its normal position. I'm gonna change my spring back to 1 red, release that blue spring. I'm gonna place that ball up towards my carriage, place my foot, my outside foot, and roll it down so my toes are on the ground, my heel is on the ball. My inside leg is gonna come back towards my shoulder block, and then I'm gonna bring my hands off of the foot bar, get into that stability. Now we're gonna inhale, let's send that carriage back. Exhale, start straightening that standing leg and resisting those springs as you pull the carriage in. Ooh. Let's do 3 more. Two. On our last one, send the carriage back, hold it there. Okay, I'm gonna bring my hand to the foot bar just because I need to keep this carriage out. We're gonna pulse our hips up an inch, down an inch. Your quad should be nice and fired, nice and activated for 5, 4, 3, 2. Pause your hips. We're gonna be pulsing this heel into the ball for 5, 4, pressing down, 3, 2, 1, release the ball. We're gonna pull that carriage back in, straightening that standing leg. Now we can take our foot off of the carriage. We're gonna place that ball now. So let's add back on a blue spring for feet and straps. Whoop. Let's lie ourselves down. I'm gonna bring my headrest back up. Lying down onto the carriage. Grabbing onto our straps, I'm gonna throw the large loop around the arches of my feet. And then I'm gonna place that ball in between my heels. Okay. So we're gonna start with our lower and lifts. We're gonna lift up towards the ceiling and lower down. We've got a nice squeeze into that ball with our heels. Inhale to lift. Make sure that tailbone stays nice and heavy, planted into that carriage. We've got that pocket of air in our spine, keeping our spine in neutral. For 3, 2. Now the next time you lower down, I want you to hold your legs extended out towards your foot bar. We're gonna pulse the ball in with our heels, really activating those inner thighs. My feet are parallel with each other. Let's stay right here for 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's bring our legs into a tabletop position. I'm gonna externally rotate at my heels. Maybe adjust that ball a little bit. Now I'm gonna send my heels out from here. So we're only gonna come back as far as our knees are stacked over our hips. Exhale, I'm gonna press it out, straighten my legs, then bend my knees, come back into tabletop. My heels are externally rotated, so my toes are pointed outwards. So we're doing our frog here, but we're keeping that ball in between our heels, really challenging this frog exercise. For 4, 3, 2, on your last one, send it out, hold. We're pulsing that ball inwards. Our toes are pointed outward. We're pulsing the ball with our heels for 5, 4, 3, 2, bend your knees, bring your heels in towards you. Let's remove that ball for some leg circles to finish up class. So our legs are extended out in front of us. Let's lift them up to the ceiling. We're gonna go out, down, and around. Meet those heels together, then your toes, and then extend them back up to the ceiling. Two more. Last one, and let's reverse those circles. So we're gonna open our feet out wide, go up, meet them together at the top, and lower down. For 3, 2, last one, lower down, go out, up, around. Let's bend our knees, bring the straps in towards our chest, and remove those straps. Okay. Thank you all for joining me for class today. That was a quick one, but I think it should definitely get your body nice and warm and nice and loose. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next one.